Kaylin, we have
Oots.
both spent a considerable amount of time in private Facebook groups researching videos.
hmm
Can you like speak to your opinion on these groups a little bit? Like, what's your general vibe that you get from them?
Sad, sort of lifeless, not in that they aren't being used, but that the people in them do not have lives outside of them a lot of the time. Like it becomes
Mhm.
their main focus. Like
Right.
this is their
Which can lead to it
community.
being
These
kind
are
of
now their
toxic.
friends. And yeah, well, especially if you for anyone, if you
Yeah.
begin to make your personality this like one specific belief or trait, it is not healthy. We love
Yeah.
when individuals are round and well so.
Yeah. We love containing multitudes.
So many multitudes. Like multiple
there
multitudes.
there's nothing worse for a person than just having a solitude. Solitude.
Yeah. One single tude.
Is that the opposite of multitude?
It must be.
It must be.
Solo-tude.
I just discovered
So, solo-tude. Oh my god,
solitude.
yeah. We like
Yeah.
discoverer and founder of Solo-tude.
Sounds like a tech company. So, an author named Susan Meachen was the moderator and creator of a private Facebook group called The Ward for fans
Wait.
of her books.
Okay. Sorry. I'll stop interrupting. I think I
Are
know
you
what this
catching on?
is.
Are you catching on? All
Yeah.
right. Okay. An author named Susan Meachen was the moderator and creator of a private Facebook group called The Ward for fans of her books and other people in the online subculture of self-published romance novels. The book world, as Meachen and other self-published authors refer to this subculture, was rife with drama and infighting, like as every private Facebook group is.
Yep.
And Meachen was always at the center of every conflict.
hmm
In an interview with the New York Times, one of Meachen's friends, Kimberly Grell, said she was becoming pretty chaotic. It just seemed like every problem that surfaced with her, she was in the middle of, and it turned to where she was the victim of it all. Things seemingly came to a head in September of 2020 when a post appeared on Susan Meachen's Facebook page announcing that she had passed away and seemingly blaming her death on bullying within the book world. Please leave us alone, the post read. We have no desire in this messed up industry. I think that was a typo on their part.
Author.
The announcement of
Mm.
Meachen's death by apparent suicide caused shockwaves throughout the book world. Numerous accusations of bullying caused the infighting and drama to intensify, and group members who had considered Susan Meachen their friend began publicly grieving her. But Susan Meachen continued posting on Facebook, triggering a follow-up post on October 23rd from someone claiming to be Susan Meachen's daughter. Sorry, thought everyone on this page knew my mom passed away. Dead people don't post on social media. Or do they?
Bum bum bum.
Welcome back to Respect the Dead, the podcast where we don't.
Sweaty. It's no surprise that everybody celebrated your demise, and now worms are eating your eyes. So don't you worry your rotten head as you sleep in your sodden bed. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead. It's time to respect the dead.
The podcast. Welcome back to Respect the Dead, the podcast where they aren't.
Yeah. Okay, so you know where I'm going with this.
I know this bitch's name. One of my favorite things in the world are scams,
Yeah.
but especially going all the way to fake your little death.
Oh
is
my
the
God.
most iconic thing anyone could do. When people say like, oh, women can't have hobbies now, that's the first thing I think of.
I mean, it's like it's classic. It's Tom Sawyer, right? Like
Yes.
it's faking your
The
own death
first
and then
woman.
like waiting around to see it. Tom Sawyer.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Great. I'm so glad. We are gonna chat. Susan Meachen of Benton, Tennessee, had been an avid reader her whole life. She had dropped out of school in the 9th grade to marry her husband, a long haul truck driver named Troy. Yeah, the 9th grade.
I thought two things. One, wish that were me, and two, that's not okay.
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
9th grade, I would have dropped out of school and married a truck driver.
A truck driver.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very Ethel Cain coded.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It didn't end so well for her.
No. To fill the long stretches of time when Troy was away, Susan would devour romance novel after romance novel, sometimes more than one in a single day. Eventually, she discovered the book world, an online community that she'd described to the New York Times as like an escape, a timeout, a break from everyday reality. Over a 3-year period from 2017 to 2020, she'd end up writing and self-publishing 14 of her own romance novels with titles like His Wicked Way, Chance Encounter, and Smoky Mountain Love. Her Amazon author bio reads, I've been an avid reader as far back as I can recall. It was a lifeline to transport me from dark moments in life. My preferred genre to read is historical romance. I love getting lost with the bad boys who were earls, kings, and such. When I decided to jump into the ring of author, I had no desire writing the average romance like so many others do. I wanted to make my leads flawed. It is how I came up with my tagline. Author of perfectly flawed romances. There's never a guaranteed HEA, happily ever after, in any of my books, but they are packed full of emotions and love nonetheless. I do warn if it is not a fairy tale ending for the ones who love to read the sweet reads. I love that she coined her own phrase, perfectly flawed romances.
I wish she was dead. Like, this is so fucking
Or
cringe.
in jail.
Yeah. Either or. I want you in something, either the ground or carcerated. Like, but you need to pick between the two. Spin the fucking wheel, bitch, because I'm so sorry. But like, I'm not like other girls. I'm dead. like it's so annoying. Sorry if you came here for a happy ending, you won't find anything like that here. I'm like, okay, Avril Lavigne. Like this is not this is not the edgy.
Ooh, she wears
Like
ties and studs on her belts. She's so edgy. Her bio continues. Also, you can find me over at www.patreon.com/respectthedead, where I've signed up as a patron so I can get access to Hoots and K's exclusive episode autopsies.
Oh my god, okay, now I like her. Like
Yeah.
the things she's saying are starting to really sound smart now.
Yeah, she's starting to resonate.
First good choice.
When she wasn't writing, Susan Meachen was online. Like,
Oh, I
was a
bet.
poster. She was online. She was like worse than me. As of the time of this recording, there have not been any specific allegations of bullying within the Ward Facebook group and other book world forums, only like kind of generalized comments about bullying
Yeah.
in the book world allegedly made by her family members in Facebook posts. Like, I have not seen screenshots.
Her family members.
Yeah. But based on her friend Kimberly Grell's comments and what we know of both Facebook groups and authors who self-publish on Amazon, I think we can probably assume that there was probably like some actual heated discourse going on, like whether or not you would call that bullying. You know, there was infighting.
Oh, of course, as there
in
should
those
be.
groups. Yeah.
A bunch of like
Yeah.
mediocre people running into each other and headbutting each other like rams is what I'm picturing. Like,
Yes. However, the book world was kind of rocked by Susan's apparent suicide. The vibe was toxic, but like no one thought it had been that bad.
and it wasn't.
And They all got very angry at each other over the idea that it might have been. In the months following the announcement of Susan Meachen's death, Susan's assistant, Connie Ortiz, took over most of the managing of the ward. Connie reached out to Susan's daughter via Susan's Facebook profile and asked to attend Susan's funeral because her assistant was like close with her. But her request was denied, and she was told that Susan had already been cremated.
I love when they just do it real quick like that. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I know you
Same
wanted
day.
to see the body, but it's actually cheaper to get them cremated while they're still warm because you don't have to spend so long heating them up, right? So like we got a discount." Yeah.
Oh wow. I wasn't aware that same day cremation was actually the more economical way to go. I
Yeah,
would have
it is
thought that
also
it would be a
greener.
premium. Mm,
Yeah.
that's so woke of her. Woke Queen Susan Meachen.
Saving the planet literally one cremation at a time.
The group was mostly quiet in its founder's absence, but Connie mostly posted in it searching for editors and personal assistants to volunteer to promote Susan's published books on Amazon and to help finish Susan's unpublished novel.
No.
Yeah, so her assistant, her assistant, who to our knowledge is like innocent in all of this, is like one of the victims of all of this, was like getting free labor out of people, like because she was under the impression that her friend had died.
Mm-hmm.
Susan had apparently intended her unfinished novel as like a wedding gift for her. She intended to finish it for her daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
The daughter that was now allegedly posting under Susan's Facebook account. So they got friends to help them finish the novel for free.
I like the idea that you can just finish somebody else's novel.
I know. It's like pretty common, and it's like, I mean, I know people like leave behind like notes and stuff, but like I think if it's unfinished, you should leave it unfinished.
I think it would be so fucking based. If I die, like, write this down, everyone. And by everyone, I mean you. If I die and I don't finish my book, like, publish it as it is. Like,
unfinished.
Yeah. That's so much more like haunting and romantic.
Yes.
Right? Like,
and that is something that people do sometimes too. And then like there will be an afterword written by like someone they knew that'll be like,
that's so romantic.
And this is
not to like romanticize death, but like
sometimes death is a little romantic. The Victorians were onto something.
Yeah. Not showering, but something.
Susan's daughter, using Susan's profile, posted in the ward asking that no one report her as deceased to Facebook in order to prevent the profile from being memorialized. Because, her daughter still wanted to use her Facebook profile.
Which is weird, but...
With the help of volunteer editors, Susan's last book, Love to Last a Lifetime, was completed and released on October 30th.
Sorry, what year?
2020.
Okay.
October 30th, 2020. So, like, the month after she supposedly died. In posts to the ward, Connie Ortiz pushed members to pre-order Love to Last a Lifetime, as well as Susan's other books, warning them that the paperbacks would go unpublished if no one purchased anymore. A group of authors put together a dedication to Susan, published in a romance anthology titled Bully King Anthology. It read... For Susan Meachen, an author of what she called perfectly flawed romances. The world is a little less bright without her. Words can hurt, but they don't have to. Words can also heal. Let's keep bullying where it belongs. In fiction.
That's hilarious.
That's
I also
banger line.
I also like that they had to be like, she coined this term. We don't think it's perfectly anything.
Just for anyone like who is not looking at my script, anyone besides me, perfectly flawed romances is also like capitalized.
Oh no.
Capital P, capital F, capital R.
No, not the PFR.
The PFR.
Absolutely not. That's so cringe. Thinking that you get to like coin your own. Oh.
Oh.
I'm like AFR.
AFR.
Okay, but
A
that's the name
perfectly
of
flawed
us.
reacts.
Flawed reacts is cute.
Flawed reacts is cute. I'm stealing that. According to some former group members, some charity auctions and fundraisers for the Meachen family were also organized following the announcement of Susan's death. But I can't find any actual posts or like screenshots of
Okay.
that. So I cannot confirm from my own receipts digging. From
Yeah.
my receipts archaeology. I can't confirm. I've heard that these things exist, but over the next couple of years, posts in the ward slowed to a trickle. Connie Ortiz would post to drive sales for Susan's book or to honor the anniversary of the announcement of her passing, but eventually life got in the way and she began to post less and less. On November 5th, 2022, Connie Ortiz made a post to the ward asking if anyone else would be interested in taking over the group. Wow, it's been a while. I'm sorry for not being here as often as I should. My life has been a roller coaster this year. Taking care of my husband, my son's accident, and my sister's death has kept me away from this group. I have considered closing it down, but that would not be fair to you. If anyone wants to take over this group, please let me know. Susan Meachen worked hard to keep this group going, and it would be a disservice to her if I close it. I will be around once in a while. I have a lot of good friends that I don't want to break that connection with you. Just let me know if you want to take over the group. A person named T.N. Steele, who had joined the ward shortly after Susan Meachen left, replied, I'll take it, Connie Ortiz. I will overhaul it in hopes that it pleases you and Susan.
I love that Danielle Steele's ugly little sister is like so ready to take over this group.
I also love that Susan Meachen is from Tennessee and T.N. Steele could also be read as Tennessee Steele.
Okay, I'm not gonna bag on her for making a very obviously fake name because it's like my
you
favorite thing in the
You're not
entire
in a position
world.
to do that.
But like, she's
It's
iconic. Go on.
amazing. I love her.
This is my Gone Girl.
Oh my god, I make a reference to Gone Girl in the script later on. Samesies. I love that, like, I tried to write this in a way where I guess I shouldn't even try to like pretend anymore. She's not dead, guys. She's alive. I
Just so
tried to write
alive.
this in a way where I might surprise you, but we are so the same person that like the
Oh,
second
yeah.
I mentioned the name of this nobody who no one has heard of, you were like, oh
No, I was like,
it's about
where
fraud.
have I was like, oh my god, wait, no, this is my friend Fraud. I'd know her anywhere.
I love her. I stan. Okay. In her own post to the group, T.N. Steele wrote, Evening/morning, everyone. My name is Trina, and I'm the new owner of this group. I plan to make this the place to be on every given day. Parties, games, meme wars, and so on. Who's ready to win some book money this coming week? I'll be around for an hour or so if anyone wants to ask me any questions. Nobody responded.
I'm so upset about meme wars.
Meme wars.
What the fuck does that even mean, you stupid
Meme
bitch?
wars. Then, on January 2nd, 2023, T.N. Steele made an ominous post on her Facebook profile. This account will be closing soon, and I will return to my real account and name. If you would like to follow, let me know. Shortly after, Susan Meachen posted this in the ward. I debated on how to do this a million times and still not sure if it's right or not. There's going to be tons of questions and a lot of people leaving the group, I'd guess, but my family did what they thought was best for me, and I can't fault them for it. I almost died again at my own hand, and they had to go through all that hell again. Returning to the ward doesn't mean much, but I am in a good place now, and I am hoping to write again. Let the fun begin.
Let the fun begin is
Yes.
unhinged.
She finished her announcement coming back from the grave with "Let the fun begin."
She is so Pretty Little Liars coded. Like, this is something that like would be in a CW show. Like, that is Kristen Bell at the end of a Gossip Girl episode, like in the closing narration. Like, let the fun begin. XOXO, Susan fucking Meachen. Goddamn Stephanie Merkin.
Stephanie Merkin. Susan Meachen had been alive the entire 2-year period she was purported to be dead and posting in the same group that had allegedly driven her to suicide as either her daughter or as TN Steele. So people in the Facebook group were understandably pretty pissed. They were not happy with this.
Did they finally come back?
The people in the Facebook
Because
group?
like the group was like dead, you were saying.
Yes.
Did it,
And
like,
actually people like the articles that I read said that like, I mean, because people were still there, but it's just like everyone was turning into lurkers.
Mhm.
And what I read is like the first few hours that the post was up, like it didn't actually get any traction. Like nobody was commenting on
Yeah.
it. And then it just like blew up. So, you know, like all these bitches were like passing around this post
Yeah.
in like DMs, like,
Yeah.
what is this? What should we do? Is this fake?
Yeah. Is this real? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to do like, I'm imagining all the private conversations that were going on with all these women. I know what they were like. So when shit hit the fan, members were vowing to shun her, expressing their deep sense of betrayal. People reported her to the FBI cybercrimes unit for fraud.
Yes. Have you met my friend Fraud?
Like, hello, FBI?
Hello, I'd like to speak to FBI, please.
I would like to speak to the manager of FBI. I'm talking like this because I always have my phone on speaker. A woman named Samantha A. Cole reached out to Susan via Facebook Messenger and like basically confronted her. And all Susan had to say for herself was that she wanted her life back. Like what?
Sorry, being like flabbergasted and silent is not great podcasting. So for anyone that isn't watching this, I am just like,
what do you respond to that? What does that even mean?
the audacity. The
I just wanted my life
audacity.
back.
Well,
Yeah,
why
like,
did you
girl,
end it?
You were the one pretending to be dead. So Samantha posted all the receipts. Like Samantha A. Cole's post is the one that wound up in like a whole bunch of news articles because
Yeah.
like she went like fucking scorched earth on this bitch. She posted screenshots of her messages with Susan, screenshots of posts made to the group when people thought Susan was dead, and people start like review bombing all of Susan's books and ordering
Nice.
Samantha's.
Yes. Wait. Samantha's real, right?
Samantha is the one who Samantha is the one who posted the receipts. So they're just
No, I know.
being
I just
petty.
wondered if it was possible
that they were the same.
double. Yeah,
They are
the
different
double
people.
gambit.
They are different people. Samantha also did. I watched this whole fucking thing. Samantha also did like a 20-minute Facebook Live, like talking about, and she was like, "Stop ordering my books. I don't want you to order them for that reason. If you want to read them and you think that they sound interesting, yeah, order them. But if it was so good, I love
need
her.
to watch
I stan
this.
her. I stan her.
I need to watch. I'm going to watch this
I will
tonight
send it
while
to
I'm
you.
making banana bread. I am like, I am
It's so
enthralled.
It's
Oh
so
my god.
entertaining. And what
Can we
makes
just
it
have a
better-
podcast where we talk about scammers? We can call it Scam Queens and just cash the fuck in. Like, this is
I
amazing.
love it. I love it. And what makes it so much better is like every single person in these groups is like in their mid to late 60s. Like these are like a bunch of our
Yes.
moms being catty petty bitches. And I just like I think it's iconic. I think it is the valid way to spend your golden years.
Like, we need to write, what's it called? A treatment? Is that what they call it in the biz? Like, where we cash in on this bitch's life? Like,
Oh yeah. We just like write our own biopic screenplay.
yeah. Well, no, it would have to be a series because, like, there's way too much in
Okay.
this. Like, we need, like,
So a
at least
pilot.
yeah.
The
Oh my god, and
pilot
you know how to
episode.
do those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have Final Cut Pro. Wait, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. Final Draft Pro. They're the same name. Final Draft. I don't have Final Cut Pro. It's one of the only ones I don't have. So people, by which I mean little freaks like us,
Yeah.
actually bother to go check Susan's social media accounts besides Facebook and discover that for the entire 2-year period she was dead, she was posting on TikTok like videos of her face.
Okay, it's so funny because an old person would have never thought to check. Like,
Well, and this is why I'm like, okay, obviously it's like incredibly fucked up to pretend to die, but also it kind of is on them for not like looking at her TikTok.
okay, it's so funny. Like, imagine faking your death and then immediately posting on TikTok. Like, I
Your
wonder if,
face.
and she's not even scared of getting caught either. Like,
No.
oh my God, I love her.
She's like going on Snapchat and like doing videos of your face with like the little dog mask, like 3 days after you're supposed to have died.
Hey, this post is from Susan's dog. Just wanted to tell you that. We're all really going through it at home right
We miss
now.
her.
I miss her. She was
Woof
my
woof.
mom. Okay. Are you going to explain the involvement of like her friends and family and what they knew?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what I'm most interested in. I'm like, but I'll let
Yeah.
you get there.
Because you know the story, but yeah. So several news outlets pick up the story and publish pieces on the romance author who faked her own death, and a genre fiction Substack called Upstream Reviews manages to score an interview with Susan. In it, she states, the best fiction is, I'm going to read a really long quote, sorry.
Okay.
The best fiction is rooted in fact. The events may not be authentic, but the emotions are. Since 2020, that's been my life and death. Did I leave the mortal coil? No, but the pain was real. You can't just take a break from that, not unless the bullies want to take a break too, which was basically all I wanted. I died not physically, but spiritually. The bullying stopped, and I was finally able to breathe, ironically, when people believed I stopped breathing. They knew how far I was pushed and finally saw the toxicity. Things actually improved, not just for me, but for others. You can criticize the means, but you can't deny the end. But then what? At some point, I wasn't doing anyone any good by staying dead, when there was more to be gained and more healing to be had by reaching out. The new year seemed like an auspicious time for a new beginning. I knew some people would be upset at first. I'm sorry they feel that way, but the proof is in the pudding. A fiction author's job, F and A capitalized, is to create new realities, N and R capitalized, which is
No.
what I did. Does transcending the pages of a book make me a bad author with a capital A or a good one? Who's to say where the lines are drawn? But in one tiny corner of the world, my death was real. The darkness that led up to it was real, and so was the light that emerged. Only the end of my life was a work of fiction, and those who would prefer otherwise should consider what it means that they want me dead. Even I love it. We've definitely had replies like this on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If you're not happy that I faked my death, is that
You must
because
want me dead.
you want me dead? You little murderer? Who's the real piece of shit here? Not me. That's all I know.
Even if you think I did something wrong, does it warrant that? The death penalty?
Yes. What number one? Yes, it does. No. Oh, okay, so now everyone that's mad that she faked her death is basically calling for the death
Pro
penalty.
execution. Yeah. Calling for her to be executed.
I actually do
This-
think if you fake your death, you should have
get the
to
death
die.
penalty.
No, like you should have to die in that way. Like I think it should be like a final destination thing, not like the
Oh,
state,
right.
but like death itself being like, no, not in my name, you little bitch.
Yeah. Death hates fraud.
Yeah, like in its
Death
name.
hates stolen valor.
Yeah, like bitch, I didn't do that. Like keep my name out of your mouth.
That same toxicity pushed me to this in the first place. I was morally justified. As soon as the world learned I still had a pulse and the bullying resumed and the piling on began. So why So why did I make a public return? What will be different this time? As I said, the best fiction is rooted in fact. For the past 2+ years, I've lived my own death. I've witnessed what few others have and survived to tell the tale.
She's not her being like, I saw God. Like, I know what it's like to be dead. You were posting on TikTok.
I almost died.
Who was that? L. Ron Hubbard, when he like got gas at the dentist office, he was like, I died for 5 minutes.
And that's exactly what I'll do. In my next book will be one only I could write. Because I lived it, I lived that death. What better stage for a perfectly flawed romance? Thanks for all this opportunity to speak my truth, capital T. The interviewer asks Susan, what would you say to those who feel they donated under a false pretense and might feel wronged? And she responded, to those who donated, I would again stress that this wasn't demanded of them. I'm sorry they feel wronged, but they chose to donate. It doesn't magically become a loan because they regret it now. And why do they? because an author told them a story. Story is capitalized and author is capitalized.
No.
Honestly, the
She's
gay energy
iconic.
coming out of this because an author told them a story.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, your donations do not magically become a loan just because you decided to regret it the next day. I'm sorry. Like, oh, an author told you a story and now you're mad? That's what authors do, dummy.
It's literally my job.
Read a fucking book. Mine, coming out next month. The Girl Who Lived Too Much.
The only difference now versus before is I'm alive. They'd rather I be dead than they'd be happy about donating. That's what it seems like they're saying. They're cruelly wishing death on me.
Yes. I am not going to say a name, but this is giving like a major like Twitter energy from like permanent victims. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen this person online. But then, Upstream Reviews retracted their story and posted this statement. To those of you who have followed our recent reporting of Susan Meachen, we have decided to retract the Q&A along with her alleged statement, which seems to have further angered many. Since its publication, a number of individuals close to her have expressed doubt as to whether or not the person we were in touch with was actually her. And we have since been told that Mrs. Meachen has denied giving the interview on other social media platforms. While we have not been able to confirm these claims, out of an abundance of caution, the article has now been updated and the original verified reporting remains. We apologize to Mrs. Meachen and regret the error. So it probably wasn't her, or like maybe she just like started denying the interview when the interview got like more bad social media, like got her more heat, you know?
I choose to believe it was her.
I
have to believe it was her.
If it's not her, it's a wonderful writer.
Definitely
a better writer than her.
So maybe it was like okay, I have to believe it was her because it fills me with so much hope and joy. And I feel like I deserve it. Like, I feel like we've earned this.
Yes, we've earned this. We deserve a little Susan Meachen as a treat.
Okay, I can't wait until we have Susan Meachen merch. Our Susan Merchant.
Just like the pictures of her on like the TikTok thumbnails, just on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Like with like
so
those,
iconic.
It's like a bunch all together. Like in those little like collage.
Like a grid. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only confirmed interview was from an article in the New York Times titled "A Fake Death in Romancelandia."
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know. It's not even called Romancelandia. They
That's
all
stupid.
call it the book world. The interview is with Susan, her husband, Todd, and her 22-year-old daughter who wished to remain unnamed in the article. Now, a lot of the coverage of her has been very critical. rightly so, of like the because of like the incredibly unhinged thing that she did.
Yeah.
Like that is a fucked up thing to do. And also a lot of it has kind of got like this air of like, look at these sad little housewives doing their sad little housewife
Yeah.
versions of Gone Girl. Like the articles are very funny, but I do just have to say, as a woman,
Yeah.
I have to call out a little bit of like some misogyny in the air, like a little background hum of misogyny.
Silly women and their silly little games.
Yeah. But the New York Times interview, because it is an interview with not only Susan, but like her family,
Yeah.
allows you to kind of read between the lines a little bit more. So I want to pivot to more of an empathetic position in all of this.
Okay. Do we want to take an ad break in the middle?
Yes, because I didn't write any in. I completely forgot. When we come back, we're going to ask, was Susan Meachen right, actually? And the answer is always yes!
I love her. Everything she does is right.
I'm buying all of her books on this ad break.
No, I am gonna buy one tonight at least.
Oh my god, we should do like an extra Patreon special where we just like read her books
little
live.
clips for little quotes or favorite quotes from one of her books.
Yeah.
We'll make that a goal, a Patreon goal.
Yeah, Patreon goal. Once we get to like $1,000 a month.
1,000 patrons.
1,000 patrons a month. We'll do a live read of Susan Meachen's books. And we're back.
From the dead.
So, from the dead, even.
What'd you say?
You
Things
thought
are
I
about
was
to
dead.
get funny. Let's have fun.
Ooh. Wait, what was it? So, let the fun begin. That's
okay.
Let the fun
Let's
begin.
get funny.
Why so funny? I'm just the reverse Joker. Susan Meachen is like giving me life.
Okay. Let's put our empathy masks on.
Yeah, this is what really happened to Susan Meachen. Sometime while she was active in the ward, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and her addiction to Facebook became kind of comorbid with her disorder. Like, we know how bipolar is like marked by periods of mania. When you're addicted to social media and you're going through a manic episode, like it becomes like all consuming. And she described her relationship with social media like an addiction. Again, despite numerous allegations of bullying, not a single news outlet or receipts post that I have found has shown any screenshots of people in the ward actually bullying Susan. But her husband, Troy, responded to some of the feedback on her work from fellow authors as brutal. So she would like share, a passage of what she'd been writing. And I guess she would get some pretty intense feedback and took that to heart. And Susan's friend, Kimberly Grell, also remarked on Susan's growing delusion with the industry, the fact that it was becoming a money pit and that Susan was becoming increasingly frustrated with the idea that she might never make any money out of it.
So she was not doing well.
Nobody really in these, because like anyone can self-publish to Amazon. Like, it's not like you have like a marketing team or anything. And that's part of what these groups were designed for, is like a bunch of self-published authors can like not only get together and like give each other feedback, but also promote one another's work, like YouTuber chats.
Yeah.
So like, so but like it's very, very rare that like a self-published author on Amazon is going to sell a lot of books, because again, you don't have like actual marketing teams, you don't have a marketing budget. And I guess like her friend was saying, like, everybody gets into this at first and thinks that they're going to be like the next Stephen King and become like a millionaire, and that's just not like realistic. And I guess maybe Susan was one of those people who thought like, I have a talent,
Yeah.
and was starting to become delusioned with the fact that it wasn't really happening for her.
Yeah.
Susan's husband, Todd, said that during the periods of mania and psychosis brought on by Susan's bipolar disorder, he'd sometimes come home to discover that she was talking like the characters from her books.
Oop. That would be very alarming as like somebody's partner, like
Yeah.
especially when you know that they're struggling and yeah.
And he's a long haul truck driver, so he's sometimes away for like
Oh,
days
so
at a
it's
time and just
yeah.
leaving her alone. And she's a homemaker. Like, she doesn't have, like, she just has online her books and like her husband
I
and
did
kids.
guess that.
Yeah.
It sounds like she has a lot of time spent
Yeah.
online, which like
And all of her kids are grown now.
if you have like a 9 to 5, you can't do.
Yeah. Todd started to worry that Susan's online world was becoming a danger to her. Now, I do not know anything about their relationship, but I do want to just, because some red flags went up in my head, I want to
Mhm.
reiterate here that Susan dropped out of her freshman year of high school to marry Todd and
Yeah.
has lived as a homemaker ever since. I believe that Susan has mental health issues because the New York Times reached out to her doctor to
Mhm.
confirm that she was diagnosed, and he did confirm that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I believe that Todd was sincerely worried for Susan, but I also don't know the extent that Todd exercises control over his wife.
Mhm.
The dropping out of your freshman year of high school to get married thing raised a few flags to me. In September of 2020, when Susan Meachen was supposed to have died, her 22-year-old daughter did find her in her home, unresponsive, after a near fatal dose of Xanax.
Okay.
Todd Meachen, the husband, told his daughter to log into Susan's Facebook account and tell everyone she was dead. Yeah, so
Okay.
this was Todd's call. In the New York Times article, he stated, "I told them that she is dead to the indie world, the internet, because we had to stop her, period. She could not stop it on her own. And even to this day, I'll take 100% of the blame, the accolades, whatever you want to call it."
Mhm.
It is not known if the person posting on Susan's account as her daughter was actually her daughter or if it was Susan, but it seems like it was probably Susan
Yeah.
because a lot of her like grammar and spelling errors remain the same throughout the 2-year period that Susan was dead, including a quirk of hers where she would spell supposed to as post to, like POSTTO, which is like a
That's
very weird, like specific spelling error to consistently make.
yeah. That's so weird.
So it seems like, at least what the family is willing to tell us, is that it was his call. He had the daughter make the post while she was still like in the ER.
Mhm.
And I guess Susan just kind of played along with it, but like didn't actually get away from social media, like kept going on social media,
Yeah.
which is like why I think that this is like very bizarre behavior on the family's part. I mean, it's unhinged to tell someone that your family member died. I
Yeah.
get that you want to cut her off from these groups, but like also you've said this and then you just immediately let her get back on her computer and post in these groups. Just she has to now
Yeah.
play along with like a lie that you made up that she died.
Which is weird because she wouldn't have to. At any
No.
point, she could have just posted like my I tried to die by suicide. My family
Yeah.
found me. They decided to make this post. It wasn't true. I am not dead. Like
Yeah.
continuing to post as if you are dead is like I don't want to complicit's like a strong word, but like
Yeah.
if you're still on social media, then this isn't for doing anything for your health. So like I don't get it. I
No.
mean, there's nothing to get because none of these people are acting in a way that's like you're going
Rational.
to be able to parse through it. Yeah, using
Yeah.
like logic and being rational because she wasn't, because she couldn't be, and they weren't because they're in the middle of like a crisis and they don't know what to
Yeah.
do and like things are getting bad. So like, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I don't wanna, like I don't wanna point the finger at Todd, but I don't know, like, it just rubbed me the wrong way that that's, like, the first place that he went, like, "We need to get you help, therefore, I need to, like, tell people that you've died so that you won't use the internet, and then I'm not gonna actually bother to, like, care about your internet usage after the fact."
Yeah.
It feels I don't know, it feels really
I mean,
strange.
I find it difficult to believe that it was actually Todd.
Do you think he's taking
Um,
the blame for
I
her?
would think he was taking the blame.
It could be
And
that
I think
too.
and I think after your partner tries to kill themselves, you would likely be willing to take the blame for something like that. If it would stop, because that's supposed to, like, take away some of the bullying, some of the hate, to maybe allow her to continue to do something that she loves to do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll never
I don't
know.
know.
And it's, like, weird
No.
to speculate, I guess, because, like, we're not a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the fact that she continued to post as if she was dead makes her, like, whether or not she made the post, she made all the posts after
Yeah.
that,
She
right?
definitely
Like,
played along,
still
like, she
saying that
still
she
was
was
fucked
dead.
up.
She didn't make the
It's
post that she had died, but she made posts
yeah,
that she was dead. So, like, to me, it's, like, sort of,
it's still fucked up.
yeah,
So, yeah, it's probably likely that the person posting under Susan's account was Susan the whole time,
yeah,
and also TN Steele was Susan, so she just, like, created another
yeah,
profile to, like, go in and
yeah. And shortly after the Susan account said it was dead. So, like,
mhm.
she wasn't even, like, not on Facebook, right? It's not like she, like, moved to TikTok. She was, like, still in the same group. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
She
It's
got right back from the hospital and started posting.
like it sounds like she wanted attention, right? Like,
Yeah. Which again, like, you could have also just posted, I took a near fatal dose of Xanax.
yeah, because of all your bullying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or she could have
writers
had
are so
her daughter
dramatic.
log in and do it. I know. The police did end up speaking with Susan Meachen, for, like, cyber fraud or whatever.
Well,
Um,
yeah, because there was, like, fundraisers and stuff apparently, right? Like,
Allegedly,
yeah.
allegedly. Again, I can't find them anywhere, but no charges were brought against her. As of the New York Times interview in January of last year, she had put aside her plans to continue writing for the time being. And now I cheated here because this is Respect the Dead and no one died.
Yeah.
So, just at the end here of this little short episode, I just want to mention another scandal in the self-published romance novel world.
Okay.
In 2022, a romance author named Nancy Brophy was found guilty of murdering her husband. 7 years before her arrest in 2018, Nancy published a blog post for the website See Jane Publish titled, How to Murder Your Husband. And I
Okay. That's I don't okay.
honey, don't leave it up.
Mm, mm.
Delete. So all you sick true crime people can look that up. I'm not going to get into that today. But I mentioned someone who died, so it counts.
That counts. That's all we need. The, like, actually, every single time we do one of these episodes, it keeps death from taking us. So we do need to offer up, like, one dead person per episode, or it gets
It's
closer.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice try, death.
Mhm.
We get
It's
another week to live.
it's such a cool little bit of podcast lore because, like, when one of us dies, the podcast will stop. So who's to say what happened first?
Nobody knows.
High logic.
That's my logic. That's all I have. That's what I'm working with here. Oh my god. Okay, thank you for that.
Oh my god, of course.
I loved this
I
one.
I really want to believe that first interview is real.
I believe everything that makes her the most
Iconic.
unhinged and iconic. Yeah, like
I am building a shrine to her in my closet as we speak.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. I'm donating to her GoFundMe. And I'm like, babe,
Like,
it's
I
not
know you're a
alone.
live
Buy
queen,
yourself
but
something nice.
yeah.
You're gonna die eventually, so get
Yeah.
yourself a cute little cask.
Ooh, little velvet lined.
Yeah, ooh.
Right. I think we have to do our socials. You can
Yeah.
find Respect the Dead on all platforms at _Respect the Dead. I'm Hoots. You can find me on Twitter at Punished Hoots and on YouTube at Hoots YouTube. Kaylin.
I'm Kellen Conrad. That's my name on everything because I'm like the only person with that name, so it's actually very handy.
Mm. And I'm not the same thing on everything because I got banned from Twitter twice.
Whoops.
Oops. Okay, bye.
Bye.